Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuouki Zuisoroku, and the original fan disc material or the extras added onto the PS3 version of Stories of the Shinsengumi. Now we are doing our last episode of Memories of Love with Harada, Part 8. And then we're going to move on to Soji. So let's see our final with Harada here. Hopefully it'll have something to do with our baby. Oh, it's pregnancy instead. Okay, that's still cool. Alright, Memories of Love, Harada 8. May 1869. Following their battle, Harada and the protagonist depart for another country to start a new life. When she tells him she believes she's pregnant, he's excited, but asks if she's scared. Oh yeah, pregnancy's always scary. Especially back then, when it was a little more deadly. Ah, that was a bit of a sad moment.
His death will be on my hands. If that's okay with you, I'll be happy to listen later.
Oh. Thank you for taking that on for me. My father had refused to listen, but I couldn't allow him to continue his mad plan. Just as I had prepared myself to do what had to be done, he stopped me. He took his spear, shouldered my burden, and accepted the sin of patricide in my place. It was kind of him to suggest I close my eyes, but even if Kodo was destined for death, he was still my father. The least I could do for him was bear witness to his final moments. June 1868. We ambushed my father and his fury troop on the path to Kane Temple in Ueno. Following a vicious battle, my father fell, and Shiranui erased the rest of his modified furies from existence. That was the end of my father's plot. With our own war won, we sailed across the sea away from the birthing pains of Japan's new era. We settled in a land where the sky went on forever, and everywhere you looked you saw endless horizon. What country is this? It was a place where we could live in peace. Living in a foreign country wasn't easy. But here at least, the demons would never find me. I would be able to live a life of peace. How do you know that? They might still be able to find you. May 1869. Finally, a year later, life at Sanosuke's side was wonderful. But there was even more on the way. Ooh, I know what that is. Memories of Love, Part 8. It's always strange seeing them with short hair in their yukatas. May 1869. The long winter was finally ending, and signs of spring had begun to appear. I had made the journey to the coast, not too far from where we were living. My goodness, it's cold. The winters there were much harsher than what I had been accustomed to in Japan. Where are they? I want to know! A gust of frigid wind rolled in off the sea and I winced. Put some clothes on, girl. Then I heard him.
Hey, Chizuru, what are you doing out here?
Hoping that you'll come warm me up? Oh, hi.
You said you were feeling feverish. Why the hell are you out here in the cold if you don't feel good?
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm not sick. Not in that way. He grabbed my hand as I spoke.
Don't give me that. Your hand is burning up. You've got a fever, I know it. But you won't take any medication, and every time I try to get you to eat something, you say you're not hungry. You know I love you, but this is starting to get really old.
He scowled and folded his arms. Oh, come on, can't you guess what's wrong? Come on, Harada. I knew his anger came from a place of concern. He was worried that I wasn't all right. That made me happy.
Hey, what are you grinning for? This isn't funny.
Oh, nothing. But I told you I'm not sick. I don't need to take any medication. In fact, I shouldn't be.
How on earth are you not sick? You got a fever, you won't eat.
Come here. I beckoned him toward me, and he gave me a suspicious look before slowly complying. As he leaned in, I whispered in his ear words I knew he would be thrilled to hear. His eyes shot open in surprise, and he turned to stare at me. For a moment, he just stood there. Until finally he muttered to himself, still stunned.
Pregnant? Are you serious?
I hope that's a good surprise. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Oh God, come on! What do you take me for, Harada?
It's mine, right?
Of course! Who else's would it be? What are you accusing me of?
Yeah, you're right. That's Yeah, of course. So, is it a boy? A girl?
How should I know? He seemed confused and disoriented. I don't know. I only realized I was pregnant a few days ago.
Oh yeah, right. We won't know until it's born, huh?
I must have caught him off guard. Clearly. Poor guy.
So what should I do? I've heard those, belt things are supposed to help keep the baby safe.
Me too, but I don't think they have them over here. Let's make one.
Right, of course. Then,
Oh, face.
Carp's supposed to be really good for you, right? You want me to go catch some? The ocean's right over there.
The ocean's right there. I'll go get some right now. Calm down, Sanosuke. It's okay. I think carp are freshwater fish, aren't they?
Oh, right. Sorry.
He slumped in desperation. Clearly he wanted to help. He just had no idea how. You got some time, buddy. You got some time. He then looked up at me and grinned. There we go. That's the face we want to see. Although, he looks awfully sly there, rather than happy.
Man, I'm gonna be a dad. He looks like, I really did it this time.
In his voice, I could hear the proud realization of a man, but also the boisterous, earnest excitement of a boy. He stepped toward me, then suddenly paused.
Hey, can I touch it?
Oh, sure, go ahead. Of course, you're the daddy. He reached out with one hand and almost delicately laid it against my stomach. Usually his touch was confident and strong, but now I could feel his hand tremble. He moved them around, as if searching for any sign of life within me. Might be too early for that.
It's in there? Our baby?
Yes. For a moment, I thought I could hear the faint beating of a tiny heart. Is that even possible? Even if I couldn't feel it yet, though, there was no doubt I was a mother. And as he stroked my stomach, Sanosuke was finally beginning to fully grasp what that meant.
When do you think you'll have, it? I really want to meet our kid.
Oh, he looks all sad. Like he just can't wait, I guess. Wait, does he have tears in his eyes? Are those actually tears under his eyes? Oh.
You're probably going to laugh at me, but right now I feel really happy that I'm alive.
I'm happy that you're alive, too. His face bent into a wide smile, and I thought I could almost see tears in the corners of his eyes. I'm pretty sure we do. I won't laugh. I feel the same way. Every fiber of my being cried out with joy as I looked at him. This moment felt better than I could have ever imagined.
Hey, are you scared?
His voice was low and serious. I'm a little scared. After all, a lot of women die in childbirth. Yes, I guess I am a little scared. And also, if it's a girl, demons could come try to take her for breeding. As I spoke, I put my hand on top of his. He looked up into my eyes and waited for me to continue. I've never really been this happy for this long. I'm always afraid that one day it might just end. Well, eventually it does, because nobody lives forever. In Kyoto, every day had been different. I never knew what might happen. But now, out under the brilliant blue sky, all our days seemed to blend together. My happiness had begun to feel as natural and ever-present as air. And yet, a part of me lived in fear that someday it would suddenly disappear. That was what I was afraid of. Sanosuke lifted his hand off my stomach and placed it gently on my head. He gave me a wry smile.
Me too. Back when I was a kid and tried to kill myself, or when I was charging into battle against a man with a gun, I never felt afraid.
He laughed and grinned at me. Never?
Anyway, you still shouldn't be out here. If you've got a kid on the way, that's even more reason not to be out in the cold. So what were you doing out here?
Was I looking for you or just enjoying the ocean view? Oh, well... It was a clear day, so I was just wondering if I could see Japan, that's all. I pointed at the vague black shape I could see in the distance. That thing over there is Japan, right? Sanosuke squinted toward where I was pointing and shaded his eyes with his hand.
No, that's Korea. We can't see Japan from here.
Oh, really?
Well, Japan's out there too. Probably somewhere on the other side of that.
We're actually north of Korea then? He was silent for a moment, and I thought I could see a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. He then shook himself, shrugged out of his jacket, and draped it across my shoulder. There we go.
Let's get back home, okay? It's not good for you to be out in the cold.
How many times are you going to say that? Well, probably until I get inside. I'm fine, really. Can't we just stay out here a little longer?
What are you going to do if you get sick? It's not just you in there anymore, you know. How will I be able to look the kid in the face if I let you stand around here and get sick?
God, I cannot resist that smile. Something about the way he said it was so serious that I couldn't help but laugh. He only learned I was with child moments ago, and already he was talking like a father. Okay, just a few more minutes. He said no. He looked at me for several long seconds before finally smiling and moving to block the wind. My hand felt warm inside of his. Aww. Shoulder to shoulder, we stood and looked out toward the horizon. For a long time, we stood there silently. Aw, there we go, pretty picture. Staring out at the vast ocean and the endless sky, I began to think about the people we had left behind. I wonder how Nagakura's doing, or where do you think he went after Utsunomiya? At the mention of his old friend's name, Sanosuke gave a bitter smile.
Oh, I'm sure he's fine. That crazy bastard's too tough to die. Once the war's over, he'll probably set up shop teaching kids how to swing a sword until he's too old to see.
Well, I could see that. Yeah, you're probably right.
Then again, he's about as smart as a sack of bricks, so chances are he'll just die without 2 coins to rub together.
Aw, I really hope not. Hey, come on now. I thought he was your friend. In truth, we didn't know what happened to anyone from the Shinsengumi after our departure. No doubt Hijikata had remained commander until either he or the Shinsengumi was no more. Kondo had been so kind, but what had gone through his mind, I'd often wondered, as he watched Hijikata risk his life again and again. We didn't even hear about that. I mean, that was pretty widespread news, I thought. Had Okita recovered? Or... The sword had been his life, if he had found himself unable to take it up. I was certain Saito would follow Hijikata to the ends of the earth. Such was his devotion to both the cause and the man. As for Sanan and Heisuke, I hoped that they had managed to find meaning in life outside of battle. I knew I was naive for thinking it, but... Even though their lives were no longer human ones, I would have liked to see them be happy, peaceful ones.
We left Edo for Kyoto to make a name for ourselves. Back then, it seemed like we all wanted the same thing. Things sure have changed, huh?
Yeah. For the better! The best there can possibly be in this game!
But I think it was a change for the better.
Indeed! As he spoke, he reached out to take my hand. Oh. The wind was cold, but his hand was warm. But it was more than just warmth. In that heat, I could feel our history together. The hard choices we'd had to make that tore him away from his companions he'd had for years had been the right ones, but no less difficult for it. There was no question that we had lost something to get here, but what we gained in return. It was the only thing the man I loved had ever really wanted.
I'm never going to let this hand go, no matter what happens. Whatever happens, we're together, until the day we die.
Sounds good to me. His hand tightened around mine, and his voice had fallen to a whisper. I could feel every tiny detail of his hand, every scar and callus. It gave me strength. I know, whatever the future has waiting for us, I'll never leave you. I squeezed his hand. We would build a new life together. It would be wonderful. It will, with your beautiful baby boy. But yeah, like I said, I'm going in order of what I played the original game in. So after him, it's going to be Soji, and then it's going to be Kazuma, and then Saito, and so on and so forth. And then there's actually extras for other people like Yamazaki and even Kondo and all the other little guys that aren't actually romanceable. They just have scenes. So you'll get to see those along the way at some point. But here I don't really have much else to say, so I'm just gonna let the credits play out. And that is the end of our journey with Harada for now until Kyoto Winds comes out, and then there might actually be more stuff to see with him in Kyoto Winds. We shall see. I'm not exactly sure everything that entails, besides new characters. Oh no, darn it. Okay, I forgot we have to go to Harada's letter. I'm sure it's going to be as amusing as Hijikata's was. Let's see. Okay, here's Harada's love letter to Chizuru.
Chizuru, I guess this is the first time I've ever written to you, huh? I feel a little awkward writing you a letter when we see each other every day. But some things are just easier to say when you put them on paper. There's a lot I want to say, but I guess I might as well start with when we first met. The first time I saw you was in the main hall of our old compound. You were pretty confused about what was going on, and everywhere you looked was scary, dangerous-looking men. Including you. We weren't exactly being friendly either, so I'm sure you were just about scared out of your mind. Sorry, I couldn't really do anything to help.
He was just doing his job.
Even after we decided to let you stay, we made you keep dressing like a man, which must have been kind of frustrating.
It wasn't that bad.
But even then, you volunteered to do anything, even just menial busy work, because you couldn't stand to just sit around. When those demons showed up looking for you, that made you feel even worse. And that was the first time I started thinking about taking you away from all that violence so you could live in peace.
Aw, he was thinking about that even then. Oh my god, I love you so much, Sanosuke.
I wanted to protect you so that you could live a normal life and be happy. And I hoped that maybe the person you'd be living that happy life with would be me.
Why didn't you speak up sooner?
You felt like you could never be happy because you were a demon. But being a demon is part of who you are, and I fell in love with every part of you.
Huh?
I don't see any path in life that I want to take where you'd not be by my side, Chizuru. As long as you're smiling, I can do anything. I know I'm not always the best at expressing my feelings, but I swear to you that's the truth. When you get sad, I worry that I can't explain how much I care very well, and it makes you feel even worse. I know I told you this 100 times before, but I want to tell you 101 times. I'll always be there for you. I want you to trust me. I'm not going to let you go. We're husband and wife. I know moving here probably wasn't easy for you, but I've never been as happy anywhere as I am here. I have a beautiful wife by my side, and soon I'll be a father. Everything I've ever dreamed of is right in front of me. I don't know what more I could want out of life than to watch our child grow up with you. Or children. I wouldn't mind having more, but I guess we can talk about that after we figured out caring just for one.
Somehow I don't think I'd mind.
Our child will carry the truth of our love into the future, generation after generation. You get it, Chizuru? We'll be together even after we die.
Aww. Sanosuke, definitely the sweetest thing in this entire game. Definitely many more feels with him than anybody else. Alright, so again, like I said, next episode, Okita Soji. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.